Hi, this is a request. Can't remember her name. Excuse me, but I will put it in a little thingy on the side. This is the request on ghost stories. I'll have to be in probably several video recordings because there is like a total, there's a lot. So, and these are all true stories, things that happened to me and or my family. So, how it all started was the house that we grew up in was haunted. And it was a brand new house. So, I don't know why it was haunted or what happened, but it was haunted. So, I guess just we were more sensitive to things. And, so here's a couple. Here's a, let's see. The reason we had some ghost people come is because, and check the house just to be sure it wasn't evil, which I felt it wasn't evil. But I just didn't want to scare the kids anymore. So, like, the other night, this is like 3 weeks ago, me and my son were sitting at the table, like in the dining kitchen area, you know, and we were eating something before we went to bed. I was, just having a snack, and we were talking, and my niece, who lives here with me, she walks from her room to her sister's room, and there's a hallway closet, like a linen closet there, and it's locked because I have daycare. Everything has to be locked. So she was walking by, and all of a sudden, we hear this loud noise, like something's trying to like get out of the door, out of the closet. And I mean, it was like shaking it so hard. I'm surprised it didn't break the lock. And I need to touch up my makeup. And so, anyways. So, it was like really, really loud, and then me and my son are looking at each other like, what the heck does she do? It's not like she like dropped a whole handful of pots and pans, armload, and she like screams, she's like, Zachary, stop it, and she like runs in her room, and she slams the door. She runs in her mom's room and slams the door, and I'm like, Marissa, what are you talking about? Zachary's out here with me. And so, it had just shook it, and like stuff had fallen out. I mean, it was very, very loud. I was like, you know what? I had a friend that was working with a group of girls, and so I called them, had them come over. So everything they saw was exactly what we had been dealing with, and the lady didn't know anything about. Is that you, Bubba?
No, it's me.
Okay, and so the lady didn't know anything about the ghost and what was going on. She had no clue. So, and then we seen like children. Like I had like one child that was here one day, and I went to the restroom, and I was coming out of the restroom, walking down the hallway, and the child was in my living room, like jumping up and down, and took off running towards the front door. And I was like, you're not supposed to be in the living room playing around. What's the deal, sister? What's going on? And I go around there, and I look, and she wasn't there. And she goes, Miss Kelly, I'm out in the playroom. And I'm like, oh. And I mean, I saw her as plain as day. I mean, I saw her hair close, her hair, like she jumped up and her hair like flew up in the air. And yeah, it was really creepy. And then, there's been other children that we've caught here and there running around with the children in the daycare. That's really kind of cute. And, there's nothing I could do about it. I can't help it. My mom has seen it. Just kind of cute, I mean, I don't understand why there's so many children. We think if it's because of the daycare, or if maybe there's a house in front of my house that is like huge, and it's like was built in 1865, and then my house would have been its backyard. So I don't know at that point in Wellsville, and at 1965, yeah, you could actually bury family members in your yard. So, because it was just the new town, there wasn't like designated graveyards, or it was like kosher. So I'm gonna try to find out and see if we can figure out what's going on. Let's see. I wrote some stuff down. Oh, there's I was coming downstairs, and my boyfriend was here, and he was in bed, and I saw a black figure standing by this pole thingy, and he had never like stayed the night or anything before. So this is like the first time he stayed the night, pretty much. And I saw it. I didn't say anything, and I went and got in bed, and I said, I didn't tell you that my house was haunted, because he'd been down there by himself for like an hour or so, because I went out with some friends. oh, he's like, really? And I was like, yeah. Excuse me, just to let you know. So if you hear anything, feel anything, and they touch you or talk to you, you know, I'm like, don't freak out. And so he's like, oh, and he's like laying there looking around in the dark. And I'm like, it's really a good idea just to keep your eyes closed, even if you're awake. Just keep your eyes closed, because you don't want to see anything, because they'll freak you out. I'm like, it freaks me out, and I see it all the time. And so all of a sudden he's like, what is that standing by the pool, that black thing? I said, well, I saw it when I came down here. I said, it's a ghost. It's just standing there. And he's like, oh, okay. And and then he's like, and then behind the pool is where my computer table is and everything is. Like, you know, I go, you know, get on the computer. And then you could walk in front of the computer, and then there's like a laundry room door. And he's like sitting there watching. And he's like, why do those lights keep blinking on and off on your computer? Those are lights that don't blink on and off. They just stay on until you shut it down. And I'm like, well, it's not that they're blinking off and on, but someone's walking in front of them, and they're walking back and forth, and they're blocking the light, and then the light, you know, and then it comes back through. And I had already warned him, like, earlier that day. I'm like, okay, you can stay the night with me, but if you start snoring, if you wake me up, I'm like, you're out of there. You just go home. I don't even play. When it comes to my sleep, I'm not even playing. So he's like, okay, no big deal, you know. And he would not leave that bed, and he snored and kept me up. And I was like kicking him, and I'm like, get out, go upstairs. And I couldn't figure out why he wouldn't. Usually, like, if he's ever stayed kind of the night or fell asleep, he would get up and go upstairs, because I'm not going to be losing any sleep for no man, please. And he would not get out of the bed, and I'm like, that's weird. Usually he'll go sleep upstairs and then, like, you know, on a couch or another room or whatever. And he would not move. He was so scared. As soon as the sun came up, he was gone. He left my house so fast, it was funny. So evil. But there's a lot of stories, and so I got another one about my workout room. It's like really long, so I'm going to save that one. Oh, I'll tell you about Frank. I forgot to bring the box. One of the ghosts we have is named Frank. The lady that came to my house, the ghost hunter, told me it's Frank. She's like, "Who? Someone's messing with your TV?" And I said, "Yeah, they keep changing the channel." And so she's like, that's Frank. He's the one that's walking in front of your computer over here. I said, yeah, there is somebody that walks in front of the computer. I mean, she like guessed everything right off the bat. That there's a guy, that he stands by the pool. He does not like my Barbie collection at all. So we're having a problem with that. Because sometimes they're knocked over. And I kept thinking it was the cats that was doing it. Who knows? And so he keeps turning the channel. Well, I didn't know who Frank was. I had a grandpa. His name was Frank, but he was bad. He's very, very bad. I mean, he's so bad that he don't need to be in heaven. That bad. And then I have a cousin that died. His name was Frank. And then I was showing Zach this box I bought at a garage sale. It's like a little cigar box. It's like been burnt into with designs. And it was 100 years old. And I was like, Zach, look at this box. It's like 100 years old. That's so cool. I got it at a garage sale. I bought it at a garage sale a couple years ago. And I just showed it to him the other day. And Frank is on the bottom of the box. I will show it to you guys with my next ghost story. So I'm going to let you go, and I'll tell you the one about the workout room. It's really creepy, and the day the ghost shook my house. Literally shook my house. So talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye.